and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Amogbe.
I am Tayo Salam. Many thanks for joining us again.
The weekend is finally here. I'm talking about the Basketball Africa League is starting on Sunday, and today we will be doing a comprehensive preview of how it will be. If River Supers will stand a chance of getting at least to the quarterfinals, because according to the coach, that's the target he has set for the team. Can they do that? We'll talk more about this on the program.
Of course, we've waited and waited and waited. Finally, we get to see the maiden edition of the Basketball Africa League tip-off in Rwanda, Kigali on Sunday. Also on the show this time around, let's go to England, where Manchester United faced off against their biggest rivals, Liverpool, and at the end of 90 minutes, it was Liverpool prevailing by 4-2 to reignite their top four hopes.
What a week for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'm sure the record he wouldn't want us to look back and talk about. First, they lost to Leicester City at Old Trafford 2-1, handing the title to their rivals, Manchester City. And, of course, on Thursday, losing to Liverpool. That's another rival, and Liverpool now have a chance to dream about finishing top four and getting the spot in the Champions League. No thanks to Ole, doing the other teams a big favor. All right, that's on the program. We'll talk tennis. And Dominic Thiem is out of the Rome Masters. You asked the question, what is wrong with the Prince of Clay?
Well, what's wrong with the Prince of Clay is that on the day he faced off against an inspired Lorenzo Sonego.
All right, Rafael Nadal had to dig deep. If not, he would have faced just the way. He would have been out just the way you have the Prince is out. So the King is still around. Djokovic also is still around. Tsitsipas there, they're also still in the game.
Yeah.
All right, time to talk about basketball. And we have a basketball expert in the house, in the building.
Can say that again.
Femi Adefeso. I needed to finish that. Femi's been like, it's been a minute, right?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
A little.
A long one.
Half a minute.
Half a minute. Welcome, it's good to have you on the show.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Okay, so we deal with the NBA first before we talk about Basketball Africa League. That's why you're here this morning, because it's big, it's huge. I mean, when you have a tournament backed by the NBA, you know how big it will be. But Tayo, started with the NBA first. I mean, results from last night.
Exactly. 9 games are played in the NBA. Of course, Femi is going to talk a bit about the NBA as well, too, before we go on into the about preview. The Clippers were in action against the Charlotte Hornets, ended 113-90 in favor of LA. Paul George 20 points on the night. The Bucks and the Pacers faced up, ended 142-133 in favor of Milwaukee. Giannis with 40 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists in the game. The Orlando Magic lost against the Atlanta Hawks, 116-93. Bogdanovic scored 27 points. Trae Young added 18 points in that victory. The Sun Sixers and the Miami Heat ended 106-94 in favor of Miami. Jimmy Butler 27 points, Bam Adebayo 18 points and 12 rebounds on the night. Miami is still holding on to the number 5th spot in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks, surprising team of the season, they're already back in the playoffs. You know that already. They took on the San Antonio Spurs. Yeah, why not? They took on the San Antonio Spurs. They ended 102-98 in favor of New York. Alec Burks with a season-high 30 points on the night. For the Spurs, by virtue of losing this game, they've managed to secure a playing spot. So we'll see them in the playing tournament. Better than nothing at all. The Chicago Bulls defeated the Raptors 114-102. The Grizzlies against the Kings 116-110 in favor of Memphis. Dillon Brooks with 30 points on the night. The Nuggets, led, of course, by Nikola Jokic, 114-103 over the Timberwolves. And last but not least, the Trailblazers against the Suns ended 118-117 in favor of Phoenix. Devin Booker with a late free throws in that game to seal a 1-point victory. Femi, quickly, the NBA, the season is winding down. That's the regular season. Let me ask you about your, what's your biggest, most surprising moments in the NBA for this regular season in terms of what the teams have been up to?
Has to be the New York Knicks.
Yeah, I know.
It has to be the New York Knicks. When you look at how their neighbors, I don't call them noisy neighbors, Brooklyn Nets, you've got all the stars, no one looked their way. They've had front office issues. The owner isn't one of the most popular guys,
of course,
in the NBA circuit, and they've managed to grow organically. Julius Randle, I think, is undisputed most improved player of the year.
Why can't he go for contender of MVP?
Still too early. Let him take that first.
Okay.
He's been phenomenal this year, and his mindset. Let's not forget, this guy was drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers, and he was just tossed away just like that, and he found himself in New York, and he's gone through the grind. And I like how they've been able to do business. Also, Derrick Rose is there, reliving his MVP career, though not at the same level, but it's good to see that second chances are possible in sports, and that's it for them. The Phoenix Suns is another team, I think. A lot of people are not watching. They are number 2 in the Western Conference. The West is supposed to be very, very tough. And Chris Paul has been able to do something magical alongside Devin Booker doing things. I think their coach should be the coach of the year.
I think
a lot of people won't agree with that. And I think Chris Paul, too, should be one of the front runners for the most valuable player of the season.
You're actually going to say that.
No disrespect to Jokic, who has done phenomenal. No disrespect to Joel Embiid as well, who has also been really good. But I think Chris Paul deserves more credit than he's getting.
All right. I think for us, quickly, Giannis Antetokounmpo, I mean, he produced a remarkable performance last night. They're trying as much as possible to see if he can be top 2 in the East. But for Giannis, I mean, his performance this season, 40 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists. I mean, when was the last time you have a player doing that? Charles Barkley, as far back as 1988, that's when he had that. And this guy had been really remarkable for his team. But we can just take a listen to him. What he had to say after that performance. Okay, we can't do that right now, right? No. But when you... Okay, if...
I think Giannis has been great this year. But look at this team, is 4th in the East. You would have expected them to, be tops. Looking at the backfall of what happened last season, you would think runaway leaders in the Eastern Conference should be them. But he's doing great personally. His numbers are awesome. 41 points last night. Yes, one of those contenders for MVP. But I intentionally didn't mention him because his team, for me, have underperformed
below
this year.
Since you mentioned it, Cecilia, Giannis is definitely one of our top performers in the NBA. Games played last night and this morning, like I said, fantastic game, 40 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists. The other 2 players also make the list. Damian Lillard was incredible for the Portland Trail Blazers, but they lost out in their own game. There you go, 41.5 rebounds and 5 assists. Last but not the least is Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets, 31 points, MVP. 31, 14, and 4 assists on the night.
I see a lot of Jokic voters in the house.
Yes,
it's getting it. There's no doubt about that.
The Portland Trail Blazers are actually not doing themselves a lot of favor with the way, especially the loss last night. They could have secured top between 4 and 6 place in playoffs. Now they might be going into the play-in. And the play-in might mean Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, that's it.
Which is not going to be good. Because I like how the NBA has put the play-in tournament. It's made the end of the season a lot more interesting. Because so now from 7 to 10, you have an opportunity to be in the playoffs. Unlike before when the top 8 just goes automatically.
Straight up.
So now there's very little margin for error. That's why he likes of LeBron James and a couple of guys are complaining about it. But it's good.
He should be fired. But I think that's an opportunity for you to get into it.
So,
they didn't know they were going to wobble and fumble. Exactly. So it's after the fumbling. That is on them. That's what
who would have thought the Lakers would be
Do you understand? Playing.
Tournament.
Who could have thought about that? Guys, I never thought about that.
We can continue and talk on forever about the NBA, but you know why we're here today.
Of course, Basketball Africa League starting this weekend. I mean, the reason why we're talking because it's the business end of it. Just 2 games left for most of the teams, and some teams just won. So that's the reason. Basketball Africa will get us talking right now. I mean, let's start with how the grouping is like for Rivers Hoopers to know how they're going to navigate this, because it's going to be hard for them. We all know that, especially with the fact that, in Nigeria, the league,
So that's the schedule for another day. For Rivers Hoopers at the Basketball Africa
on Sunday
in Kigali. They will be actually tipping off the the tournament against our Patriots. See, that's going to be on Sunday. They'll also play against US Monastir. That's going to be on Thursday. And last but not the least, it's going to be against GNBC. That's going to be on Sunday, May the 23rd. So those are the 3 games Nigeria will play in their group. I said Nigeria. The Rivers Hoopers are representing Nigeria. Those are the games they will play in their group. I will just go straight into it, Femi. Perhaps we should first of all listen to the coach of Rivers Hoopers, Ogodaudu, as well as one of the foreign imports that was signed up for this particular tournament, Tyron Sullivan, speaking on their chances at this competition.
Well, realistically speaking, everybody is writing us off that this is a target that we have set for ourselves is that let us get out of our group. Let us make the quarterfinals. We're not saying we're going to say, oh, thank God we're in the quarterfinals, let's pack our bags and go home. Anything can happen from there on. I know that we're going to get better by every game that we play. So it'd be a mistake for any game to underrate us, for any team to underrate us, most especially in the quarterfinals. So, but for us, we are going to try and get out of our group for now and make it to the quarterfinals. After that, it's in God's hands.
I think we just got to be able to finish games out. I know every team is going to be excited to be in this tournament, and so I expect that at the beginning of each game will be very intense, very fast, but I think the teams that will last the longest and play the best will be the teams that know how to stay together and finish the game out together and continue to play hard.
It's all about playing hard, and that's the message coming from Tyron Sullivan of the Rivers Hoopers. Femi, straight away, what are you expecting? What are the chances of Rivers in this competition, considering the opposition they'll be facing off against?
The fact that there's a window for the best third team in any group, no disrespect to them, I think it gives them a bigger opportunity to go through. I think they can beat the team from Madagascar, GNBC. Okay. Monastir would be a little tough, the team from Tunisia. And the host, especially when you're playing them in your very first game, that gives you a tough opponent to start with. Everybody always has that jittery fingers, in the case basketball now, where when it is the first game of the tournament, it's not even just your first game, but the first game of the tournament, there'll be a lot of pressure. I heard fans will be allowed into the stadium. Tickets have started going on sale. There's also a little bit of stardust on that Patriots team. The American rapper, everyone has been raving lyrical about J. Cole joining. Although we hear there's still a little bit of eligibility issues, because every team is allowed 2 international players from outside of Africa. Yep. And J. Cole coming through makes it the 3rd. So they are trying to ensure the paperwork is rightly done. But this guy can play. Forget the other side.
Wait. Hold on a minute. Hold on a second. J. Cole, of course, they played ball in high school. Yeah. Played at St. John's as well. So he was a walk-on. He didn't get any scholarship, scholarship or anything like that. Why isn't he doing music for a long time? As a matter of fact, latest album just came out last night. So he's been in the studio more than in the gym. How do you know
that? You can't say that for sure.
Because he's been recording an album.
Yeah, he's recording also training. Can we do some guys?
The album was released last night. Doesn't mean he was recording until last night.
Come on,
he's been in Rwanda. He's gone through the quarantine, and so he's invested.
He's been training with the team.
And let's not also rule out the fact that during the off season, J. Cole usually scrimmages alongside NBA players. Yeah, wherever he is. We've seen videos over and over, either with the guys from the New York Knicks or the guys in North Carolina, that is the Charlotte Hornets, or the off-season. So he plays with the NBA players.
The off-season.
Yes, in the off-season. So, I mean, that's enough to measure up your
pick and roll game would be enough for him to really have an
plays,
impact.
He competes. It's not like he's sitting on the bench while playing with them. He's playing and he's showing that he has something. He may not be professional.
But you play the game as well, so you know conditioning is a big part of it. And for this guy who's not been dedicated to basketball for a long time,
I understand that
you cannot compare with the other guys that are in the gym on a regular basis.
True, but I think it's a two-way thing. It's a two-way thing because let's not forget that he is coming with some following from the US. which also helps bring some eyeballs to the Basketball Africa League, to Africa. I also think as a musician as well, it also helps him open up, his market. I think it's strategic, both ways, if you ask me.
Marketing-wise,
pure business, business decision.
Perspective.
And both ways it works. It works for him, it works for basketball in Africa, and of course, basketball Africa. And let's not forget that the NBA is no stranger to the entertainment, side. You see the Hollywood stars and the musicians always being a part of NBA events, whether it's with the celebrity games or halftime shows, or even regular games. So it's I think it's cool, and I hope this brings in some of the other stars to come through. But looking at the tournament itself,
let me kindly hold your thoughts. I don't want you to go on and on because we need to go on a break now. We'll come back. I will wrap up our preview of the Basketball Africa League, the maiden edition. Join us again. You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. You can be a part of the show, of course. Talk to us on channels_sports. I know a lot of Manchester United fans are not very happy this morning after what happened yesterday against your biggest rivals, losing at home by 4-2 against Liverpool. Never a good one. Of course, talk to us. What do you make of your season? Is it progress or retrogression? Also, the FA Cup final is this weekend. Let's start taking on Chelsea. I imagine a lot of Nigerians will be rooting for the Foxes in that game. You can send your predictions to us.
The ones that are not Chelsea fans.
Yeah, well, you can say that. You can send your predictions to us. Channels_sports. It is, we will take them before the show is over. Of course, the Nigerian Professional Football League will also get us talking match day 20. We're doing a comprehensive preview of those games. All right, Austin Okunakman is ready to join us as well too. Doesn't want to miss out on the fun. Austin, good morning. It's great to have you on Sport this morning.
Good morning, Tayo. Good morning, Cecilia. Good to be with you guys on the show.
All right, thanks. Austin, it's been a basketball heavy program thus far. Of course, the Basketball Africa League, you know very much about that. It's going to tip off on Sunday in Kigali, at the Kigali Arena to be precise. And it's fantastic for African basketball to get this opportunity to play this big tournament.
Fantastic initiative, Tayo. And I must commend Amadou Gallo Fall and his team. Have you guys seen the amount of sponsorship, the media partnership that they are having? It tells you that there was some level of deliberate planning. And with COVID, they didn't stop planning. I remember when we spoke to him, the very first time this initiative was talked about, he said a lot of things, particularly with the intention of bringing the NBA so they can develop basketball in Africa. Cecilia, remember I talked to you about the grassroots and how they will get schools involved. And at the end of the day, this will give some level of exposure to basketball clubs in Africa. I love it, Tayo. I love the momentum that they have sustained. And I love the fact that Nigeria is also part of the party and Rivers Hoopers will be having the opening match. Look, in any way you want to look at this Basketball Africa win, it's a good one for the development of the sport in Africa.
Absolutely, absolutely. Femi, over to you.
Rightly said there by Austin. It's forward for basketball. I mean, I was talking with someone yesterday and I'm like, 10 years from now, looking at the Basketball Africa League, it would perhaps be the alternate option for anyone who doesn't make the NBA. Because you can see it's going to be top-notch talent. The NBA is directly involved. So the scouting, the preparation, you can see. I mean, I've seen videos of players just being full of, the equipment they have. Exactly. And you're like, this is NBA stuff. And they're so excited. And those kind of things are what will attract the best talents who can get in there. And mind you, there's also some good money.
In it. I mean, talent came all the way from G League in the US, to play for Rivers Hoopers. Yeah. So it shows how huge.
Exactly. I think the average salary is about 1,300 just for these 2 weeks. So imagine if they had played a full-fledged season. How much a player will make. I mean, look at it from a Nigerian angle.
I mean, those players who hasn't played ball for almost 2 years. Okay, now, since you just mentioned that, I'm like, okay, if you're looking at 10 years from now in Nigeria, because if we are having the Basketball Africa League where one team, at least, we have to go, we need to standardize and have a league for these players to be able to compete in and also go over there and compete and maybe get a trophy someday. But if we continue like this...
Absolutely. We must get our best teams, our best players to represent.
That's it, so we need to,
This year, there was a little bit of seeding. So we were fortunate, to be one of those 6 teams that were selected, while 6 other teams joined via divisional qualifiers. But I'm sure as time goes on,
we may not...
The brand will want the best talent possible. And what you can bring in on and off the court will really matter to them.
So if you're not seeded and you have to play qualifiers and you don't get in, it's a problem. We don't want that to happen.
Cecilia and Femi, I don't want to believe in any shape or form that you guys think Nigerian basketball is going to be in the same horrible situation it is in 10 years' time.
I'm not seeing any lights. I'm seeing lights at the international level.
But we need to talk about it.
I'm seeing lights at the international level. I'm talking about the D Tigers, the D Tigress.
No,
but here, I'm not seeing anything.
No, 10 years' time. Come on.
I'm not seeing anything right now.
We also must emphasize that the bulk of the talent playing across these clubs are local.
Yeah.
There's just room for 4 players on each team, to come from diaspora or from outside of the continent. So it shows that now you must develop
get 8 players
internally, and they must be very good to play at that level.
The message is very, very clear. They got to put their house in order. That's the NBBF and all the guys are in charge of basketball in the country. But I want to believe all of this will be done before the next 10 years.
Remain optimistic.
Special thanks to the Elite Basketball. Special thanks to the Elite Basketball League. Organized by players. This weekend on Sunday, they will be having their All-Star game, which will be huge at Teslim Balogun Stadium, 12 p.m.
Impressive organization from those guys. They actually went on social media to do a voting to get the players who become captains, just like the NBA model, and it was fantastically done.
So I want to see that at the league level.
Shout out to those guys as well.
All right, so let's leave basketball because we can talk about this for the next 30 minutes. I don't get tired. Quickly, NPFL,
Yeah, NPFL, of course.
NPFL, match day 21. Okay, let's just take a look at the fixtures for this weekend. Of course, Austin is going to pick his star game for the weekend. Don't pick Aqua United, Austin. Kano Pillars and Adamawa. We have Heartland and Katsina, Wiki Tourist and Nasoro United, Kwara United and Plateau United. Yes, Kwara. They went away the other time, beating Plateau. See if they can repeat that. Of course, Abia Warriors and Aimba postponed because Aimba will be playing against Pyramids of Egypt this weekend. We'll talk about that after this. Rangers and Rivers United, Dakada and Aqua United. Yes, I know it's a derby, but Sunshine Stars and Jigawa Golden Stars because they're in the same city.
What do you call Dakada? I know we had the Oriental derby for Rangers.
Okay, Austin will tell us about that. Novi Stars and Ifeanyi, Warrior Wolves and MFM. These are the games for this weekend. So, Austin, pick your star game. Rivers United and Rangers, or you're going to pick the derby at home? Austin.
Well, so first, guys, it is called the Uyo Derby.
Okay.
And Dakada FC. But yeah, that's one of the games to look at because for obvious reasons, Aqua United are top of the league.
Yes.
They are now 10 games unbeaten. So they are beginning to make pass some message to whoever wants to listen. Coach Kennedy Boboye likes to do those runs, guys, if you can remember. So I think he has about 12 or 13 game unbeaten as his record. So let's see if he can break it this time around. The first derby between Aqua United and Dakada ended in a draw. This time around, Aqua is at home. So let's see what they can do with it because, of course, they are on top of the league. But for me, the pick of the weekend definitely will have to be Kwara United Plateau. Plateau United are beginning to get back their rhythm. The return of Ibrahim Mustafa has just turned things around for that team. Sunday Adetunji left, and then they were wondering what's going to, happen to the team. Sunday Adetunji now Rivers United, and he's on fire. So Kwara United, disappointing loss for them at Plateau United. Let's see if they can pick themselves back up. The Harmony boys are still unbeaten at home, and still the surprise package of the season. So definitely that's the match to look forward to. I also want to see Heartland and Katsina United. Katsina United, they were rampant in their last match, scoring about 5. Heartland went away to beat Adamawa United 1-0. So it's about sustaining the momentum for both teams. You can't take away Rangers and Rivers United. That's a cracker of a match when you talk about football in Nigeria. So Rivers United won their last match. Rangers won their last match also, and both teams are also in top spots in the league. So these are interesting times. Match day 21. So teams start looking, towards the end of the season now. So you got to start gathering all those points. So yes, guys, let's look forward to an exciting game of football in the NPFL.
Okay, we'll see what's going to happen this weekend for Kwara United, having lost to that Nasarawa away from home. See if they can be at home and beat Plateau United. And for Dakada and Akwa Ibom and Akwa United. I know, obviously, you will be divided, right? So which team will you be rooting for to get it?
I'm 100% Akwa Ibom Ayaya. So whoever wins, I'm going to scream Akwa Ibom Ayaya.
Okay.
That's all that matters. Quickly for you, which of these games
you want to pick the Lagos
Kwara United, Plateau United.
Okay.
It's also a top of the table clash, especially for Kwara United. They were topping the league for a considerable number of weeks. Before Akwa United, came through. So I'm sure they would be going into that game, especially playing at home, looking to get maximum 3 points and putting themselves back
into contention for... Okay, are you looking at it from the angle? Because if you check at the beginning of the season, Plateau United lost to Kwara United at home in Jos. And so Plateau United going over there, so you think they're going to do the double over them?
They need to do the double.
They need to do, that's what you're saying.
Kwara has more motivation and more incentives out of this game as compared to Plateau, who have been a shadow of themselves after winning the league a couple of years back. So you see that Kwara...
they're still 10th on the log.
And talking about motivation, a win for Kwara can take them to the top of the table again, depending on the result between Kwara United and
Dakada.
Right, so that'll be a very interesting match as well, Kwara United against Plateau United. Let's take
let's go to the continent first. We'll take a step down. The continent, Enyimba and Pyramids. Enyimba is in Egypt, Pyramids preparing to see how they can get this one. Austin, Enyimba, I mean, they lost to Rangers, so we didn't expect that loss. And if you check why most of the teams were resting, they needed to play the backlog of the games. And the first was a loss, the second was a draw. No, 2 draws back-to-back, and then the loss to Rangers. So 3 games in a row, they haven't, no win at all. Can they get something out of this first leg?
Oh, they have to. But I worry for them because in the group stage, we talked about how disappointing they were traveling away, and that's what they need to change this time around because you don't have another opportunity. You don't do well this time around. You're gone, and then you feel bad about it because at this stage it's the money spinning stage. So you have to start thinking about making money and winning trophies. I've been taking a look at Pyramids. They finished second on the Group D table with 9 points. And guess what, guys? They won 4, lost 2, scored 7, and they drew nothing. They conceded 5 goals. And in that group, they were favorites to finish second after Raja Casablanca. It was only Raja Casablanca that they lost to. They lost the 2 games to Raja Casablanca, but they knew they were going to beat Namungo and Nkana to get all points, and that's what they did. Match day 1, they defeated Namungo by a long goal. They defeated Nkana by 3 goals to nothing. Match day 2, they went away to Namungo to beat them 2-0. Match day 3, they lost at home to Raja Casablanca, expectedly, because that's a better team. And then match day 4, they lost at Raja Casablanca 3-0. Match day 5, they went away to Nkana to win 1-0. Match day 6, they beat Namungo 1-0 at home to seal qualification into the quarterfinals. If you take that back to Enyimba, that's where you start to worry for them, because this is a team that struggles when they go away, and then they come back home also, and even when they win, they put our truth up here. They have to change that. They need to calm down now and see the big picture. In fact, if they pick a draw at Pyramids now or beat them, we forgive them for everything that has happened in the last days in the NPFL, which is none of our business actually because it's their campaign. But when it has to do with continental football, there's so much at stake. And this is the time Enyimba can start thinking that, look, we need to break that record. We need 2003 and 2004 is a long, long time ago, guys. So they need to make an impact. They need to make a statement. And I think this is the right time for them to do just that.
Okay. Hopefully they can do that in the first leg, and maybe second leg will just be okay.
Come on, Cecilia, why are you?
It's big.
Also being very, very optimistic. First leg away in Egypt.
I have to. I mean, just
win. You know how that works.
It will be hard, but they need to bounce back from that. Yeah. I mean, the lackluster.
A bad run. Just 2 draws from 3 games. And going away from home. I hope they can, because this drought of Nigerian teams not doing well has to end at some point. And Enyimba is the only team that looks like can break that.
So they need to break it.
We'll keep supporting them.
Yeah.
We'll keep praying for them like we like to do in Nigeria.
Praise.
And, we'll keep shouting too on social media.
This is what it looks like, the quarterfinals fixtures, where you have Pyramids and Enyimba, Cotton Sports and Jarafa. You have Orlando Pirates and Rajas Casablanca, CSFN, and JS Kabylie are the teams playing this weekend, which is on Sunday. That's all for the CAF Confederation Cup. Right. We step down to the Nigerian National League, where there is always drama all the time. But quickly, we'll just run through the fixtures for this weekend. Yeah, fixtures for this weekend. Then we'll talk a little bit about the little drama that is in it. Oya Sports and Sokoto United, EFCC and Gombe. You have Economic Warriors and Green Beret, then FC Taraba and Mighty Jet. FC Taraba, they're in trouble. We'll talk about that shortly. Then move over to Group A2, where you have Apex Crane, Ibom Youth, JATT, One Rockets, Crown, and Godoski. Joy Commerce and Bayelsa United will be in action. And of course, let's get to the other part. We have Group B1, Osun United, Delta Force, Dynamite Force, and Lion Sports, Shooting Stars and Newe United, Stationary Stores and Vandreza FC. The 2 teams are in trouble. Move over to B2, which will be the last one for this week. We'll continue with the B1, Go Round and Ekiti United. You have Giant Brillers and Calabar Rovers in that order this weekend. That's for match day 14. Okay, Austin, quickly, Aklosende. Okay, the last one, Group A2. ABS and Shakaro Babes. You have Kogi United, Niger Tornadoes, Zamfara United, and Road Safety, Yobe Desert Stars, and DMD. Another games to look forward to. Kogi and Monofashi in Group A2. Now, there's some issues concerning Aklosendi. They've been withdrawn from the league after failing to honor 2 consecutive games. You also have the issue of the fact that Taraba are now to play their next 3 home matches at Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Stadium simply because of what happened. They've been banished to early, simply because of what happened. So, and these games will be behind closed doors. What is happening with NNL? Can we just put all these things down and just focus on the game, because this is not looking good at all for the league?
But it is what it is, and we say it all the time that league football officials, in fact, football administrators in Nigeria, they need to be deliberate about achieving results. For you to get developed, and say we are playing a developed football league, you must step on toes. You must say things and do them, So with all of the drama we're seeing in the NNL is a testament that we are not yet enforcing regulations. And so it's making it look like child's play. And they say it's the most important league in the land. So sometimes I wonder, why do we have so much drama in the league? Aklosendi, for instance, is a team that's been playing the NNL for a very long time, So not honoring matches is so unprofessional. And the league body should come out, be firm about it. You don't need to have the number of teams that are playing the NNL and then they struggle all the time. Do you know that on Sunday, the match between Holy Arrows and Bendel Insurance was called off because fans invaded the pitch? And they were already, I think, approaching towards the end of the match. And nothing has been said about that also. All of these, we can't be hearing about all this in 2021. It's okay when people say Glazers get out and then they disrupt and then a match is not played and then the match was played again yesterday and we have moved on. And then things happen and then it takes so long for you to make a statement. When you make a statement, it happens again and again. So it means we're not doing the right things. And this is the NNL where we're supposed to see development, because the team that will get promoted from the NNL will come to the NPFL. And that's where you're supposed to sustain the momentum. So it's a big problem. I always try not to talk so much about these things because we'll begin to sound like broken records. So administrators need to see that they know what's going on and they must fix it. That's why you are there. If you can't do the job, then leave.
You have to fix it. That's what is important. All right, Austin, we need to go on a break. When we come back, we'll be talking about the English Premier League, especially the game between Liverpool and Manchester United.
Look, the only thing we can do to get to the Champions League is to win all our games. The only thing what changed last night with the result is that means if we win all 4 games, then it will be. So that was not the case before, and so that's the only thing what changed. Apart from that, it's clear since weeks what we have to do. That's why the 2 draws against Leeds and Newcastle with conceding goals in the last minute felt so much like a defeat. I like the timing. To be honest, I would say we needed it tonight the most, pretty much, and so we did it. And yeah, but I know it's very tricky. That's why it took so long until we did it. But it was. I think tonight was really deserved against the team in form. Was really deserved tonight, and so I'm really pleased with the way we played. We had difficult moments in the game, but we overcame them, and that makes a good result usually. If you finish your own situations off, not all of them, if you deal with all the setbacks in a game, is a goal you concede, a penalty you don't get, all these kind of, a foul you don't get, all these kind of things. If you do that, then you are on a good way to win a football game.
The preparation has been different, but we're not going to make an excuse of that. I think everyone can... or maybe not everyone, but everyone who's played at this level, at this intensity, they know the attention to detail is so important, and that's why we prepare in a certain way for every game, and we couldn't do that now, but as I said, I thought the players handled it really well, but we haven't got the result and we haven't got the performances, so it's probably affected them a little bit, but as I said, none of the players would make an excuse of it. Of course, it's disappointing result, disappointing performance, especially in periods. We did well in long spells as well, I have to say, but we didn't really capitalise well enough in them good periods, and we conceded goals at very bad times of a game. Just before half-time was a kick in the teeth. Just after second half started, another kick in the teeth. And we had chances just after we got to 3-2. We had big chances and good momentum to get back into the game properly. Unfortunately, we didn't take them.
Didn't take them. Austin, what do you make of the game between Liverpool and Manchester United last night? Quickly.
I feel the team that needed it most got it. Manchester United was sloppy. Ole cannot blame his players in public, so that's why he's saying the things he's saying, but he knows that you can't give away silly goals the way they did. It's so obvious they're missing Harry Maguire, but when you have a chance, you also need to take it. Liverpool now looking good to fight for top 4, and they now have 60 points, so it's going to give us an interesting end to the season, guys.
Okay, interesting end to the end of the season. Before I let you go, your prediction, Leicester and Chelsea, pick one.
The way Chelsea is playing, I know you guys do this to me all the time. Come on, let's start. Let me not push it again. I'm a Nigerian. It's going to be Leicester 2, Chelsea 1.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much, guys. Always a delight.
All right. Femi, Chelsea is going to be up against Leicester City. I know all our hearts, obviously, are with Kelechi Iheanacho. That's for me, and that's what Austin just said. Whatever team Kelechi Iheanacho is playing for, but my money is on him.
Yeah,
but for
beyond Kelechi, Arsenal showed us something.
Okay.
That Chelsea is as vulnerable as it can get. So Leicester, I think, can do this. And I think they will. I think they will. The distraction of the Champions League is enough, and I think it's even too much for Chelsea.
For Chelsea, okay.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Let's see. It's going to be a very tough one.
It will be.
Like all finals. And, may the best team win.
But which would you rather win? Which would you rather win?
I know where your heart is. You want to know? He's not going to do that.
No, of course, I'm just going to enjoy the game. Anyways, let's get the pre-match thoughts of the Leicester City manager, Brendan Rodgers, speaking ahead of the match tomorrow.
We're off the back of a good performance and result against Manchester United. And I think you've seen in all the big games this season that this team comes alive in these types of games. You know, the mentality and the attitude in the games and the quality we have to win. So we know we're playing against an exceptional team that have got a lot of really good momentum over these last few months. And as I said, they probably been the favourites for the game because of where they're at and everything else. But for us, we're so looking forward to it. It's going to be a great occasion, but focus on performing well. No, I think it's going to be two aggressive teams wanting to impose their way of working and playing. So I see it as a game of both teams will look to have that physicality in the game, and hopefully then your quality can come through. But I'm sure it'll be a tight game.
Yes, it's going to be a tight game. Finals are always like that. Before we look at the papers, guys, let's see some of the tweets. Promise we're going to take some before we go.
Okay, let me take Noble Flyerman says, midfield was in shambles. Fred was poor. It was a horrible game, and the players were careful of picking up injuries, having the Europa League final and the Euros in mind. But for pride, we shouldn't have lost like that. It's unacceptable. I love the fact that Liverpool are not qualifying for Champions League next season.
How do you say that?
From one indication, your club have actually handed them the chance to fight for it. Exactly. And HKZ says, only had one job to do last night. Win at home. How hard can that be? I guess you're upset this morning. Chelsea have themselves to blame if they don't make the top four. However, I think winning the 2 cup finals are more important. I was talking about Chelsea right here. Okay. Pat says, I'm disappointed at Ole on how he handled the 2 games. He would have played his first 11 against Leicester, win, and then play second team against Liverpool while the first team rest. Even if they lose to Liverpool, at least the pride will remain. Common sense. United fans aren't happy this morning.
Liverpool is always
which are you taking from? Okay.
Law Alphas, that's the last tweet for the show. Liverpool's chances of making a top 4 spot are brighter now by their win over Manchester United, even if the centre referee tried to frustrate them by not awarding a clear penalty. Was that a clear penalty on the young defender? Yeah. Wasn't clear.
It wasn't clear enough, but I think it was exaggerated.
There was contact. Baye got the ball and the follow-through went into
and the guy somersaulted and fell down at
but
like it was
to forget that Liverpool Manchester
really
United is a derby any day. It's a clash of bragging rights for who is the king of England. So it always comes with that pressure. And I guess that's why Ole made that decision of resting for Leicester and playing for...
But the players were not... I mean, all of them were giving the balls away. Even Bruno Fernandes, Rashford. I mean,
let's not forget
Fred,
them.
yes,
was on a run
Fred
of games
was
too. A lot of them are tired. You know, the fixture actually did them really pretty bad.
But he didn't cover himself in glory at all. We'll go to the papers quickly. Sporting Sun here. Sporting Sun, Lazio to pay £30 million for Paul Onuachu. Interesting. Lazio. Okay.
Belgium to Syria, it's not a bad move, is it?
No, not. I mean, Belgium is always a launch pad for most young players. Going straight to Italy. And I think with the way he plays, that would be a good fit. Reminds me of Zlatan.
Okay, nice. You know, always looking at Germany. Okay, Italy. I think that would be a good fix. Okay.
Let's look at Sporting Life now. Countdown to Europa League final. Chukwueze to train again May 24th.
Oh, wow.
Eagles will get out of Manchester United. That's the most important story right there. Messi could delay signing new Barca deal. Victor Osimhen wants General Gattuso to stay as a coach of Napoli.
Yeah, you had to.
Nwankali backed Alcaraz Player of the Month award. Chelsea told to pay £103 million for Lukaku.
Okay, Complete Sports will be the last one this morning, and here it will be subbed on for the 48th time in 154 games. Come on, who are the people that usually come up with this kind of statistics? Something just like
records.
So that game ended goalless. Yeah, it was drab against Aston Villa. Real Madrid could rival United for Sancho. Okay. Iheanacho has been fantastic. This is according to a former Leicester City star. Okay, Osimhen's an interesting prospect for next season. Okay, that's Italian critics. Of course, we know.
Hopefully no injuries.
Yeah, okay, it's going to be great. All right, we need to leave the studio now. Femi, thank you so much for staying with us all through the program.
Always a delight.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching as well. Have a great weekend. I am Taya Salam.
I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Thanks for watching.